Welcome to Season 2 of the Called and Capable podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Sillers, a faith-based coach passionate about guiding you towards practical Christian living. With a BA in business management, over 20 years of professional experience, and multiple certifications through the American Association of Christian Counselors, I'm here to equip you with tools and wisdom to live out your God-given purpose with confidence. This season, we're diving into practical Christian living, offering actionable insights, heartfelt conversations, and biblical encouragement to help you navigate life's challenges while staying rooted in faith. Visit sarahsillers.com for coaching, speaking engagements, workshops, and just more info to grow in your journey. So grab your coffee, open your heart, and let's get started. You're called, you're capable, and you're not alone. Welcome back to the Called and Capable podcast. Hi, welcome back. I'm your host, Sarah, and here we are, Season 2, talking about practical Christian living. But in today's episode, I actually want to talk to you about worship songs and praise. I think this will probably be a little bit on the shorter side video. I know normally I keep it about 10 minutes, but today is going to be short and sweet. So I'm not sure how many of you have grown up in the church. You went to VBS. Maybe you learned some of these Christian songs growing up. I know I certainly did. And that was such a wonderful time. And I'm still friends with a lot of those people today because they've so heavily influenced my life. They've helped shape my character. And we're still there for each other, which is absolutely wonderful. But getting off topic here. So those lyrics, they were actually scripture, and a lot of the worship songs now are scripture. So that's a way to help us memorize the word. That way we can live it. Also, I have found that if you listen to predominantly worship music, it actually gets your heart in a constant state of worship, in gratefulness and humbleness. You are more apt to do God's will and be obedient because those lyrics are very catchy and the music is catchy. So if you're predominantly listening to secular music, and I know there's some great secular music out there. Personally, I'm a fan of Sinatra. I also grew up in Southern California, so I'm a little bit of an alternative rock gal. And I do listen to that on occasion, but I really do my best to keep it with worship music. But secular music, the verbiage is going to be different. We're supposed to watch what we say and what we think. We're supposed to take every thought captive. So if we're constantly putting something into our mind that is not of the Lord and it doesn't glorify Him and worship Him, and it actually promotes things opposite of Him, so being a child of darkness versus being a child of light, then it's actually going to start to really seep in, and you're going to start living that way. And it might start off small. You might think, oh, it's not that big of a deal, but it'll put a wedge between you and God. So maybe you won't pause and think before you do an action that doesn't glorify God. And if you take away that buffer of time to think, again, taking every thought captive, if you don't put that buffer in, then you're more likely to do something and be impulsive. And if you go back to Proverbs, then it all ties in with wisdom. So I really challenge you to, for a week or 2 days, whatever it is, but I really would recommend a week, like every day on your way to work, listen to worship music versus secular, or if you're at the gym, listen to worship versus secular music and see how it starts changing your life, because you'll start humming these things. You'll start praising God more. You'll start understanding that you're here to serve Him, to serve others, and it really just makes everything tie in together. So I challenge you to do that this week. Please let me know how that goes for you and give me an update. Let me know how that has transformed your life in just a few short days, 5 days. That's pretty easy to do. Again, on the way to and from work, just change the music to worship music. There's all sorts of worship music. I personally use Apple Music, and I'm constantly listening to the new Christian music that's coming out, the new Gospels. And I find that very neat just to put it on a new station, kind of see what new music's coming. Or if you're traditional and you want to listen to the hymns, they have stations for that too. So, all right, again, drop me a line, let me know what you think, but please like, share, and subscribe because I want to get this out to as many people as possible. Thank you so much for listening today, and I will see you soon. That's a wrap for this episode of the Called and Capable podcast. Thank you for joining me on this journey of practical Christian living where we're growing in faith, purpose, and confidence together. If you're ready to take the next step, head over to sarahsillers.com for coaching, speaking engagements, workshops, and more resources to support your walk with God. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs a little encouragement. Until next time, remember, you are called, you are capable, and you are never alone. See you soon.